Hi guys, thanks for tuning back into Bear Trail Backcountry. I'm going to talk briefly about newest piece of gear that I acquired and my initial thoughts right out of the box. And we're going to get into some field testing later. But it is the Condor Bushlore bushcraft knife. And I'm just going to talk real briefly about it and demonstrate a quick demo on how to dress the edge of it with Japanese whetstones. But yeah, I'm very pleased with it thus far. If you can see, nice thick spline on it. Not quite 3/16, but really nice and thick. You definitely can beat this through wood, or it can handle whatever you want it to do. It does have the full high carbon steel blade, so nice hard and heat treated. Although this will rust significantly more than stainless, it does require a few extra steps to keep the blade nice and dressed up, which we will also get into that as well. But no, initially right out of the box, really good quality. Rosewood handle with full brass pegs, and of course, you know it's official when I add the 500-pound test paracord on it, like I do all my tools. But yeah, just a nice thick, no frills, good quality fixed blade. It feels really good. Feels really good in my hand. This is a 4 5/16 long blade, I believe. Not sure the length on the handle. But, all right, so I'll show you what I got going here. These are a couple of my Japanese whetstones. This is a 280 grit, and then you have the red 1000 grit side, which is one of the grinds we'll be using today, and then the really fine finishing 6000 grit. Now these have been soaking for maybe about 5-8 minutes. You can tell when you want to wait until the stones are thoroughly saturated, and you can just watch when all the bubbles dissipate and a couple minutes have passed with these being in water and you don't see any bubbles. That's pretty much when you know they're saturated throughout, and that's when you're ready to start sharpening. So without further ado, this is just a little holder. So we're going to start with 1000 grit, because once again, I don't need to really take it down to a really coarse grind, because the blade is pretty much 90% there. And it just needs one kind of final touch up before I'm really happy with it. So we take our knife, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see or not, but you can kind of see the bevel of the blade, and you want to really try to kind of roll it till you kind of feel that as flat as possible. And you want to push the knife edge into the stone, not away. And you want to make sure you get all along the surface of the blade lengthwise. So you kind of want to curve it so you don't just end up going one spot. You want one nice fluid movement. So you just kind of start at the edge, kind of feel out the bevel. You just push it up and you kind of just twist it in there. And yeah, there's like no resistance. It feels nice and smooth. So this blade's pretty much just ready to rock. But I figure this is a good opportunity to give a quick demo on this. That was about 7 or 8 passes. And you really want to try to keep an even amount of passes on each side. Oh yeah. Yep. That's nice. And you'll just start to see where the very edge of the blade will kind of start to shine again, right where you're just taking off a very small amount of material. Yeah, I like that. So this won't take long at all to get it where I want, because it's a very nice edge already. But yeah, nothing to it really. You just keep your eye on it and just make sure you kind of curve the blade into the stone, hitting all along the edge, so you get a nice even grind. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Then we'll finish it off, a 6,000 grit, and this will be the very, sometimes I actually have a old S-wing hatchet where it took me about a half hour of 280 grit for like 10 minutes to really reshape and re-edge. And then I went up to the finer grits. And it was a long process, but once again, this knife is already in really good shape. And this should, as long as you don't go bashing it through a rock or any obnoxiously hard material, this high carbon steel will hold an edge for a very long time. Oh, that's wonderful. That's really nice. And every now and again, just kind of keep yourself in check. Make sure you're not going too flat or driving the edge too much into the stone, and just keeping that bevel as flat as you can. And sometimes you can turn the edge into it a little bit more with this 6,000 grit, and you can really hone in a nice, good, clean edge. But really, you'll be able to kind of feel and tell where you're going. Very nice. That's a nice clean edge. Yeah, I like it. So I think that about does it for that. All right, now that the sharpening's done, all we have left to do is just kind of do a final dressing. Like I mentioned earlier, these high carbon steel blades take a little more work to stay nice like this without rusting, which they're gonna rust no matter what. But one of the best things I found you can do is the route I've chosen to take is a food safe based oil, because when I'm out in the bush, I pretty much just want one knife to do it all. So I'm going to do limbing, cut through paracord, chop wood, make tinder sticks, do all my fire prepping, use the spine to strike a fire steel if I have to. I want it to do all that, and then while the fire's going, I want to just take the same knife and chop up my sausage or do all kinds of food prep. I just want to carry one knife that does it all. So what I've chosen to do is just use a real generic basic mineral oil. No frills. You can get mineral oil pretty much any pharmacy, grocery store. Get a nice liberal amount on a cloth. Just rub it right in. Mineral oil will react very minimally with the wood and brass of the handle, and you just rub a nice liberal amount on there, and you can let it sit on there if you want. It doesn't really matter in the end, and then you just kind of rub it clean, rub excess off anyway. You want it to have kind of a nice little oily finish, but that's pretty much it. So now we are ready to take it outside and do some field testing and see if this thing could be proven as a good companion knife and bushcraft knife.